And here we are, right where we left off. Same time, same channel. I don't know why. I think I did an update to BTA, and I think it kind of borked my stuff here. Thankfully, the way I had it in here, my personal portrait did not get messed up, but the mercenary company emblem did. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to customize our company, and I'm going to use one of the stock standard assets in here, which is this one. I love this one, Van Zant. In case you guys don't know, Van Zant is all about, well, it's an invention of the Black Pants Legion, the home of Mr. Tex, who is also a big BattleTech personality. So that's where I got that from. I call myself a proud resident and citizen of Van Zant. So yeah, here we are, right where we left off, and I'm not gonna mince too many words. I set us up for a quick start last time we were playing. So again, we have some folks that are injured up here, hopefully gonna be able to wait that out, but of course we do also have the need to make money. We're now down below 2 million C-bills, which means if we don't start making some decent money in a hurry, we're going to be in trouble. So we're going to have to continue the grind to making as much money as possible. Unfortunately, we're still kind of limited in the contracts that we can take because we don't have great mechs, and our pilots are slowly getting better at their jobs. But they did all start out as rookies, so it's a little bit rough. So I think today we're going to start out by maximizing our income rather than salvage. And that's mostly just because, well, yes, we need salvage because we're going to need weapon systems and we're going to need new mechs and things like that if we want to progress. But the downside to that, and unfortunately I think we're going to lose our APC because our boy is out of commission currently. No, we can put Quagmire in the APC, but yeah, unfortunately we need salvage in order to improve the mechs and things that we have at our disposal and our weapon systems. But of course we need money to keep the company going. So it's kind of the catch-22, and any BTA or Rogue Tech campaign usually starts out this way. It starts a little slow, but you tend to snowball at a certain point. Like once you start to get your first heavy mechs and start to really field some firepower, that's when you can start to see the snowball effect, where as you're able to take on more dangerous contracts, you make more money, you get better salvage, and then that just makes the whole process easier. So I'm hoping we'll hit that point at some point today. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, we could crash and burn. That's always an imminent possibility, especially considering that I am the best and most strategic and tactical commander that has ever existed. And I definitely don't make bad decisions that get people one-shotted by APCs. It's definitely never happened before. And even if it has, it wasn't my fault, and it definitely won't ever happen again. Because I am a consummate professional. At least that's what I tell myself, so that I can sleep at night. So yeah, we're starting off with something that's not only we as viewers and players are familiar with, but something that our mercenary company is also going to be very familiar with, which is just a very simple stock standard battle mission. We're just going to go in, kill some bad guys, and hopefully get paid for it. So today we're fighting some pirates, at least on our first mission. I'm hoping it'll be nice and simple. We will see, but that's always the hope. We always hope for a cakewalk, even if it doesn't necessarily happen. Looks like we are going to be dealing with some fog in this mission, which is going to reduce visibility and accuracy at range. That's going to be tough for us because our lance, our team, is primarily comprised of long-range units, and that's not necessarily my choice. It's just the way it is. It's what we started with. And I don't like the fact that we're already getting hit from turn 1, but thankfully we do have the 8, the maximum evasion spawn protection that you get at the very beginning of the game. So this is supposed to be pirate faction, and so... Oh, that's MRMs for you.
I'm wounded.
And already we're taking injuries at the very beginning. So, interestingly, it looks like... You notice we've got 2 different icons popping up here. We have the standard icon for pirates. But then we've also got this other icon as well, which I don't... I'm guessing that's what the new Belt Pirates is, or maybe they're a mercenary company. I'm not 100% sure. But so far, we're not off to a great start. We are fighting against what appears to be 2 full lances. And we've already taken some hits and injuries before we've even had a chance to move or do anything. So yeah, again, already not in a great position, and I think something strange is going on here because, oh no, I'm selecting where I was like, wait, it's not letting me move people. But it's not letting me move people because I'm not trying to move any of the people who can actually move currently. But yeah, so already we have some enemies that have elevation on us. Again, all told, this is just a very, very unfavorable position for us to start in. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't immediately considering withdrawing from this because we've kind of been put in a really, really bad position. But we'll play it out, at least for now, and see what we might be able to do. Yeah, we're not going to get any better accuracy with SRMs. So as usual, I'll take the laser shot. It doesn't cost us anything, except a little bit of heat. But I wasn't expecting to hit that shot. And these are pirates, so, you know, they're not going to be fielding the best mechs or equipment, but they've definitely got us in terms of numbers, and that's going to be dangerous for us. Additionally, because we've already taken 2 injuries right off the bat, even with the evasion bonus, we're going to be experiencing some issues early on in this particular stream because of the fact that our guys are going to be injured. So they're going to be spending some time in the hospital. Oh, you have a mortar. Yeah, we need to do something about that. But yeah, already our people are going to be injured, and that's going to put them out of commission, where we've already got multiple people that are out of commission for several weeks. So all in all, not a great start.
I'm there.
But we'll do what we can. That's all we can do. I don't know if firing the lasers on this is going to be a great thing, because we're already heated up thanks to the fire. I think they dropped either some incendiary artillery or some incendiary missiles on us, which has set the forest on fire. I don't know. You know what? I think running away is going to be more important than getting a shot at this point, because we're not going to have much in the way of accuracy. So I'm going to do my best to get my people out of the fire to start with, and we'll focus on who we're going to attack after.
Affirmative.
And if I could get a shot, I'll take it, but yeah, already we're less than 1% accuracy on these shots, so not going to be doing a whole lot here.
What's up, boss?
Looks like this is a ridge line, so we're not going to be able to... We're not going to be able to get up on that side, so we'll have to go the other direction. So yeah, once again, very unfavorable start. We'll try to make the best of a bad situation. We still haven't seen all of the enemies yet. We're seeing primarily light mechs. So if we focus them down, pile on the damage early, then hopefully we can take a couple of them off the field early in the mission. But there's no telling. There's at least another 2 mechs that are out here, but that we have not seen yet. And those, I don't know exactly what we're up against there. So we got a commando.
Rolling.
I saw that guy here. Commando, depending on the version. Oh. So this guy's running a rocket launchers, a bunch of rocket launchers. Thankfully, these are not the reloading type of rocket launchers, so he's going to get off one good volley, and that may have been the volley they threw at us a minute ago. But he's only going to have one good volley that he can throw at us, and then that's it. After that, he's down to 2 medium lasers. So this guy could still potentially be a threat, because the commando is very fast and mobile. He could potentially get in and melee us. But at least in the early part of the mission, I'm more worried about this locust and the locust up here on the ridgeline, because they are both artillery locusts, and while a mortar 1 is not extremely powerful, depending on the ammunition, as you can see, they've already set fire to this forest here, so just because it's a small mortar doesn't necessarily mean that it's not dangerous. I really hope that was another volley of rockets and not an MRM launcher. So let's see, what are you, Brigand? I mean, it's probably rocket launchers, but we will see. And have a look at this guy. Yeah, so that was rocket launchers, which is good. We survived the initial volley. That means now he's not going to be able to use those. The best he can do is hit us with ER medium lasers. Which again, are still potentially a threat. But the vast majority of his alpha damage has already been thrown out there. We're going to go ahead and move, but I'm going to use sensor lock since we can't really do anything else with this mech right now. Give ourselves a little more accuracy and give the enemy a little less evasion so that hopefully we'll be able to take some shots that actually hit. So yeah, still not getting great chances to hit, but better than what we had initially. Unfortunately, we missed on both shots, so not off to a good start. Not off to a good start. I mentioned that our pilots are getting a little bit better, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're good. It just means that they're on the better part of below average.
Yes, Commander.
So there's definitely room for improvement. It might not be a great idea to take an elevated position like this and just effectively allow ourselves to be shot to pieces, but we've got to start putting some damage downrange. We've been doing nothing but taking hits for the first 2 turns of this engagement while returning none of that damage. Javelin, that's going to be another light mech. Want to have a look. So we got some pulse lasers. That's going to be the same config on that locust, I'd imagine. So let's have a look at the javelin. So the javelin says they got LRM-15. So they're going to be able to continually dump out the LRMs, which it's the only weapon they have. So it could be annoying, but short of a lucky hit, they're not the real threat. These mortars are going to be the threat. The commando that still has ammunition for their rocket launchers is still definitely a threat. So yeah, that's
On my way. Double time.
it's a little bit of a rough position. So we're not going to have a decent shot at them. I think we take the shot at this guy. Maybe the commando instead. No? I think the locust is still the better shot for us. Guess I'll take it. Yeah, and didn't really get any hits on that.
Ready for orders.
Yeah, APC is still generally in the runaway and hopefully don't get hit. If I move up here, then that locust will not have a shot at us. I think that's the move. And we've got just enough angle that we can fire. If we can get the tag. Yeah, we get the tag hit on the locust, so that will also improve. Oh my. Attempt to bribe hostile mercs. I've never seen this before. The New Bell Pirates have a unit rating of 3. Spreadsheet warrior that he is, Darius has calculated that they have the following chances of accepting a bribe. Attempting to bribe will send half the money up front, the other half is wide on acceptance.
Okay, damage is light.
We currently have enough to potentially bribe them. I don't know if I want to get, like, we're trying to make money, so I don't think that... That sounds like our commando firing off his rockets. I don't think that bribing these pirates is going to be the best move. As much as I would like to reduce our potential risk. If we give up the money, that's the whole reason we're here, so that kind of defeats the purpose. Unfortunately, Game Master, I am going to have to get you the hell out of here because they've already breached the armor on this tank, and we've only just now started the mission, so... you are probably going to spend most of the rest of this mission running. But unfortunately, we're kind of backed into a corner here, so this is... It's going to get worse before it gets better. And as I've said before, not only in previous streams, but just in general, like, that's the luck of the draw in BTA and Rogue Tech, is sometimes you get shafted, and there's not a lot you can do about it. So I need to check this commando. Did he fire off all of his ammo? Yeah, okay, he did. So the commando has now expended all of his rockets.
Yeah.
And that's that's the other reason that I didn't necessarily want to bribe. Because these guys, while they are a threat initially, once they've expended their rockets and they don't have any more ammunition, they're not as much of a threat to us. So I'm not going to bribe them to leave me alone when they've just expended all of the ammo that makes them a threat. I don't think I can get up on this ridgeline because we've kind of already blocked it off. This is rough. It's rough.
Hauling ass.
Like, I'm trying to find an advantageous position where we can fire from, but those positions are few and far between. So I think we'll continue to focus down the locusts. Again, the locusts are mortar locusts. So they're going to continue to be an issue for us, even with indirect fire, until we take them out. And we do have the Javelin with the LRM. The Brigands are running rocket launchers, so once those initial volleys are off the rails, they're not a threat anymore. I think they're packing, pulse lasers? Now, ER mediums. Whoops. Yeah. And that's why I don't like those mortars. Because not only are they going to continue to hit us like that, but all those hits are in the upper region. That's part of why we got 2 pilots already injured. Is they took mortar hits to the head almost immediately. Again, not ideal. So, okay, there we go. There's the direction that I'm looking for. If the Javelin is gonna run right at me with LRMs, then I wouldn't be a very good host if I didn't give him my undivided attention, so let's do it.
Locking on with all weapons.
Reading you.
So then I think we move over here like we were doing before, try to keep to cover. This Locust has already got breached armor, so I think our best move is to continue to try to push that advantage.
Affirmative.
If we can start to get some crits,
Yes, Commander.
start taking out that equipment. Again, get our Shreb out of the fire. And potentially throw out some missiles here.
Confirmed.
Still no joy on the streaks, unfortunately. Welcome back, Game Master. Hopefully you took care of whatever it was that you had to take care of. So far, you have missed
Firing full complement.
a not great start to a mission, but we're not dead yet, so that's always a plus.
Hell yeah. It's on
Unfortunately, we're kind of back into a corner, and as you can see, there's fire everywhere, so it could definitely be going better. That's okay. Again, it's still the early game, so more often than not, we're gonna have to be making the best of bad situations. There's also a part of me that has considered maybe playing this a little bit off stream just to do so, because to me, a lot of this is kind of, I'm not gonna say it's boring, but it does get a little repetitive, where we're constantly in this scramble mode of everything is literally and figuratively on fire, and we're just barely managing to keep ourselves alive. So there's definitely that part of me that wants to just maybe fast forward through that, at least for you guys, by playing some of these early game missions and get to the point where we're actually seeing some interesting combat. But I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think about that. To me, I feel like it would be more entertaining for you guys to see some of the higher level gameplay than to just constantly be seeing this, you know, the low level scramble. The first things first. We gotta survive this mission before that becomes a relevant conversation. And we still got a whole stream ahead of us, so that's also not gonna be relevant until after. Oh no, and there's a Hollander, which is probably worst case scenario of all the things that could have been hiding back in the fog of war. It being a Hollander is the worst that it could be. Especially with an AC-10.
Copy.
So, yeah, no matter how you slice it, this is gonna get rough. We're not gonna be able to melee you in any way except a charge, which puts us at risk.
I'm on my way.
So we're not gonna do that. Let's see what our accuracy ratings are looking like. No. I mean, all around the accuracy's kind of doo-doo, but take what we can get.
Yep.
Alright, so yeah, once again, we're on fire because we've got to get rid of these locusts. And we're kind of running out of maneuvering room here. I kind of want to take a shot at the locust, but we're going to have better... Well, maybe not. I thought we were going to have better odds hitting these guys, but... I mean, it's not a huge difference in accuracy. This is why having crappy pilots is kind of not great. Oh, God, this fire is also killing us, because, yeah, I mean, I can't really do anything here. If I fire at all, we're going to risk overheat, because they just continue to torch us. I'm assuming that the mortars are firing incendiary rounds, and so we're just, like, every time they hit us, we're just on fire, on fire, on fire, and can't really escape from it, so it's pretty rough. And unfortunately, last go around, I've removed all of the jump jets from our Whitworths, so I can't actually jump them down off the ridge for mobility's sake. You know what? Overheat or no, if we're gonna have accuracy like that on this brigand, I think we're gonna take it. Yeah.
Fire all weapons.
Okay, so we did get some structure exposed on the javelin.
Watch my heat.
Didn't overheat either. That's good. I think we're gonna jog down because, yeah, I was trying to get up here on this ridge line to give us elevation, but this is the edge of the map, so we have got to get out of this corner. So I think we're gonna run. Let's see what our accuracy is looking like on these targets. I still want to hit the javelin. We do have our vehicle in the way, though. I think we take the shot with the javelin and we risk the overheat. And more importantly, if we're going to go full alpha, I'm going to use Battle Lord and hopefully we'll get some decent accuracy here. Yeah, we're probably definitely going to overheat with that, so maybe that's not the best idea.
Taking the shot.
I'll still take the risk. And of course, we didn't get lucky with the
What's my
streak.
heat? I'm taking
The
damage.
streak missiles again.
Ready
So
for orders.
RNG's, it would appear, is not on our side today. Actually, can I... Oh, because I was wondering why I couldn't melee this javelin, and then I remembered it's an APC, not a mech. So probably not the best
Roger.
idea to be showing our
Full
back to
speed.
the enemy, but again,
Affirmative.
our options are limited here. We gotta take what we can get.
Mech warriors, show 'em what you got.
Yeah, and even though these guys have only got lasers at this point, they are still gonna be a threat if they continue to hit us. Because it's not just these couple of guys, we've also got 4 or 5 mechs up on this ridgeline as well that are just plunging fire into this valley. I don't know. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know how much ammo these locusts have got.
Taking
I'm
minimal
hoping it's not
damage.
much because they're locusts.
Barely hit, Commander.
But at the same time, every single one of these mortar rounds has hit so far. So it's not doing well. This is the K-Kona part of me where I probably should have just withdrawn, and I was at the very beginning of this mission when I saw everything that we were up against, I was telling myself, you know what, we really should just withdraw before we lose a bunch of money. And I didn't do that, and now we're kind of in for a penny, in for a pound. But I am very seriously considering
I'm
just
taking internal
withdrawing again. Because we've got major damage across the board. Almost every one of all of our mechs actually have got breached armor. We have not taken a single mech off the field yet, and we're just going to sit here and continue to take damage. Again, we're backed in a corner. We're surrounded by fire. We've got pulse lasers that are coming in close range, which means they're only going to get more accurate and more deadly the closer they get to us. So, yeah, like it or not, I think we withdraw. I don't like withdrawing at the very beginning of the stream on the very first mission, but we're not in a point in this campaign where we can afford to just brute force our way through missions. We're basically juggling injured pilots and juggling busted up mechs, just trying to keep them on the field. So we're not really in a point where we can say, oh yeah, I'm just gonna power through this. And already we're losing money on that. So this was definitely a loss for us, but I think it's better to accept a little bit of a loss than to accept the total loss. Because I don't think there's any way we get out of that mission without losing more parts, more weapons, potentially losing mechs, potentially losing pilots. And again, we've already got like 3 pilots that are laid up for almost a month still before they're back on the roster. So, yeah, again, luck of the draw. RNGesus did not favor us. Oh no, Trident actually died. Well, that's gonna be our first actual death. He was bleeding. He was still alive. But it sounds as if he did not make it back. So that is unfortunate. It's going to be a very terrible loss because he was one of our better pilots, even if he was saddled in a Whitworth. So that's terrible. Sorry, Trident. Wish we could have done better. But yeah, that's no good. Yeah. So everybody F's in the chat for Trident. He tried. He tried. With that being said, let's see what the damage is. So Sundance was also hurt. She's also going to be out for like 3 weeks. We'll hit the mech bay, see what the damage is. Yeah, again, we had a Whitworth that had breached armor, but we can go ahead and just repair that. We didn't lose any systems. The Panther, though, we did lose, I believe, either they got a crit, yeah, they destroyed the ER laser that we had on that thing. So now we're going to have to replace it. I mean, I guess we could put a PPC in there, but we're going to have to strip some armor if we do. That will get this particular model in line with the baseline Panther, which normally starts with a PPC. Unfortunately, we're going to have to lose 2 tons of armor, or we're going to have to swap out this missile launcher. So yeah, even an SRM-6 is still going to run 3 tons. So no matter what we do, we're still in for 3 or more tons on the missile launcher, which is kind of poop. Let's see, I'm wondering if we have a support weapon that we could potentially put in there instead of a missile launcher. Maybe a narc launcher? I don't think that uses ammo. So we could potentially throw in the narc, but, oh no, it does use ammo. Well, dang it. We probably don't have any narc ammo. No, we don't. Okay, so that's not going to be an option either. So either we gotta lose some heat sinks, or we gotta lose 2 tons of armor off of this guy. And he's already... I mean, a Panther is not super well armored to begin with. So... again, we find ourselves in a precarious position. Because I don't have any more large lasers that I can use to replace the ER large that we lost. I guess I could hit the shop and see. That's one thing I do miss from Rogue Tech, is the ability to visit the shop from within the mech bay. But yeah, so we're gonna hit the shop, see if we might be able to buy a replacement large laser. And if we can't, maybe some facsimile. Plasma rifle, I believe, needs ammo. And oh, good lord, that's 6 tons, so that's not gonna work out for us either way. Yeah. So again, bad situation. Don't really have any energy weapons available. Alright. So PPC it is. As much as I don't like that. I mean, I guess I could just do the goofy thing and go with a medium pulse laser, but then we're taking a mech that really should be long range and kind of forcing it to be medium to short range. And again, even with maxed armor, we're not sitting at great ratings here. We do need a brawler though, that's the other thing. We need 1, maybe 2 brawlers. So I think we put in the PPC. I'm gonna drop a heat sink, maybe 2. Okay, now our heat efficiency is still good because we're running MLMs. Or MMLs, I'm sorry. We're not running a multi-level marketing scheme, I promise. That will get us in line. I think we continue to use the Panther as our long-range sniper. With the PPC, they'll hopefully be doing a little more damage. And then once the other Whitworth is done with the refit, I think I'm gonna do what I talked about in the previous stream. And instead of having these guys run large lasers, I think I'm gonna focus on medium pulses. And that's gonna reduce their damage potential a little bit. But the upside is I want to try to turn these guys into brawlers. I want them to get in and try to do some damage. So I'm going to keep this guy. There's a part of me that wants to put more SRMs. So let's do this. Because I want to have an SRM-6 for the other one. So I'm going to do a 4 and a 6. We do have a vehicle flamer, so that might not be a bad idea. Do we have... I don't think... Yeah, so this one, because it's a support weapon, it comes with its own ammunition. So we could potentially throw in a flamer just to try and get some easy early damage. I could also potentially stick a small laser in there as well. Because I do fully intend to have these guys charging into the enemy and attempting to brawl. Because that is the one thing that our Lance does not currently have. and desperately needs is mechs that can get up close. Yeah, I know we need ammo for SRMs, so 100 ammo. Unfortunately, that's not as much ammo as I'd like us to have. We're going to be potentially firing 10 missiles if we go full alpha. So what that means, for us at least, is we're going to have 10 potential full alpha volleys, which I think is doable. We'll go ahead and max the armor out. That's still going to give us 4 tons to play with. And it might be worth sticking some jump jets on this guy again, if we're going to use him as a brawler. We can potentially put 4 jump jets, and we still got 2 tons to play with. So, let's see. I don't want to do that. So we've got room for 1 support weapon in the torso and 1 laser in the head. So I think we go with a vehicle flamer. Oh no, I'm not going to have enough room, so I got to move one of these heat sinks. No, not the core, the heat sink. You doofus. Vehicle flamer in the torso. That'll allow us to do some heat damage. And that's actually going to get us up to our 40 tons. So that's... It's ugly. But we'll give it a shot and see if this plays out better than what we've currently been using. Right. Again, the Whitworth typically is loaded with large lasers and things like that. It tends to be more of a long range. Whitworth is not a great brawler, but it's the best we've got under the circumstances. I can't use a Treb as a short-range brawler, and I can't use a Panther as a short-range brawler. So it's Whitworth or nothing. So when fast forward, well, you gotta be careful with that, Game Master. If you lose your arms and your legs and then you start using your mouth, you might need dental work, and unfortunately that's not covered under the company health plan. We do not, in fact, offer dental. So I'm going to do the same thing with this Whitworth now that we've replaced a few of the items, and I'm going to essentially turn this into the same kind of thing that we just did. I'm going to put medium pulse lasers in the arms. We're going to focus on turning it into a medium range brawler. Let's see. I wanted SRM-6, SRM-4. We're definitely going to max the armor because we know we can get away with that. I need some ammo, which we put in the feet. And I think that's it. Now, what am I missing? Jump jets, that's what I'm missing. Okay. And so we'll stick the jump jets in. And there we go. We got 2 close range brawlers. Both max armor. Not as much firepower, but hopefully the closer they get, the more damage we'll do.
On it. I'll let you know when that's done.
And then last things last, let's have a look. I don't know if we can afford to wait a month to get all of our pilots back off of injured status. But I also don't know that hiring another rookie pilot is going to be the best move here. Because we just keep hiring rookie pilots and then they're trash and then they end up dying because they're not good. We lost Trident, which means that we're down a mech pilot. I think if I'm gonna hire anybody, it's gonna be this person because they've got 4 gunnery. Although we do, well, we got somebody with 4 tactics, but their gunnery is extremely low. Which means they're not going to be super useful, at least in the early part of their career. But we do need a replacement pilot. Or maybe we don't. Maybe we just wait it out for a bit. probably not the soundest financial decision, but let's just wait a little bit.
Those upgrades you asked for are online, Commander.
Alright. So we could potentially go to engineering and work on another upgrade, but that's going to be spending more money, and we don't have a lot right now. Then again, if you're not setting your finances in the red, are you really playing BattleTech? Trying to decide what I think is the best move for us right now. What is this upgrade? This is 8 days for increased drop capacity for vehicles, but we're not having an issue with vehicle drop capacity. I would like to upgrade the med bay again, but we need the gamma pod for that, which is going to involve several other pricey upgrades before we can get that. Could go with a training module, 15 days, but I don't remember, and maybe somebody in the chat does, I don't remember if your mech warriors get experience from the training modules if they're in hospital. I know if they're just idle, they get the experience. But this is less than 20k total experience, which I think all of our pilots are over that threshold at this point anyway, so it's kind of a moot point. Yeah, I don't know. I think we just save our money then, because things are going to get a little tight around here while we wait for our people to get off the mend.
I've got the financial report.
Yeah, so we're going to be out $500,000 just to keep the lights on. Thankfully, morale is still good. If the morale had started to go down a little more, then I might consider doing an upgrade for that. But there's a part of me, with only 22 days to get our people back in, there is a part of me that wants to just fast forward, get everybody back on the field, and then that'll give us about a week before the next financial report, so assuming that the missions go well, we can potentially make up that money. Maybe not the soundest. Yeah, no, I don't need the Merc News stuff. It's probably not the soundest financial decision. But at the same time, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Alright, what are we looking at? Darius demands the first agenda item in the morning. Commander, a secure invitation to the black markets here in the Perfury. That could actually work out for us. So this will give us potentially access to new weapons, new mechs, things like that. Unfortunately, it's going to cost us $500,000 to pay the membership fee because we're indifferent with pirates. If we continue to fight pirates, eventually that membership is going to go up. So if the pirates liked us, then we could get it for very cheap. I don't know if this is a great buy. And it will come back around. Decisions. I think we need to save the money. Again, this will come back around. So maybe the next time it comes around, we'll be in a better financial position. I would love to get some black market weapons and things, but for right now, we just need to focus on the fundamentals. And speaking of, everybody is now off the mend. We could potentially be out here making money again for the first time in almost a month. So we got 2 missions here. This is an assassinate, which we have not had great history with. And then here we just have a battle. Even though this is 1.5 skulls and this is only 1 skull, they're both roughly the same price in salvage, so I'm expecting the difficulty to be similar for both. Assassinate can kind of throw you some curveballs in terms of very powerful mechs or artillery or other things like that, whereas a battle usually is pretty straightforward. So I think we'll go with the battle. Again, we need money, so that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm not particularly worried about salvage. this early in the campaign. Like, we do need salvage, but there's only so much that can be done. Let's see. Because we lost Trident, I guess that means I'm gonna be filling in the hole in the Whitworth. That's what she said. And we should now be able to get our battle armor back on the field as well. So that's good. And I don't know... Yeah, we don't have any handholds on our mechs. And we're also pretty close to the end of the month, so I don't know. Let's have a look and see. Hopefully I've got enough time to install some handholds for our battle armor. So this is half a ton, which is gross. If I do that and just put the handholds, friggin', screw it. I can't put them in the head, of course. No, cannot add them. Component is not permitted in this location. So I just, like, we can't put handholds anywhere in this thing. If I remove the vehicle flamer, can I put it on the torso? Okay, so I have to put it on the torso. Well, that's not going to work with the Whitworth then, because we need all of that space for the vehicle flamer. Alright. Then, I mean, we don't want the Panther charging in, and we definitely don't want the Treb charging in. So, I guess we don't use handholds for right now. Oh, man. This is what I mean. This is the interesting part of the campaigns for me, but I know this gets a little repetitive. The constant struggle to just break even in the early part of a campaign. And before anybody says it, because I'm fully aware, yes, I know I could be selling equipment right now to make up some of that money, but that is as kind of my last resort. I don't particularly want to use the inventory in our cargo hold until we get to a point where that's the only option left to keep the lights on. But we do have some decent equipment that we could be selling. We've got some mech parts. We've got some XL engines that we're not currently using. So we definitely have stored value. We have equity in the form of inventory if we find ourselves in a situation where we absolutely need money.